Well, there it is. I have a new Motomaster oil filter, a pH 3614. I kind of wanted to compare it to the OE Motomaster, but I wasn't able to get one yet. They were out of the 3614, so I'm going to travel into Winnipeg, and I'm going to have to go find one there. So I will do that, but for now, I am going to just take a look at this one. See, isn't that a pretty picture on the side showing you how the filter is made? And yeah, let's see. Leaf spring retainer, of course. Cellulose and glass blend fiber media. So that's nice. Silicone anti-drain back valve. Wow. So that's actually pretty good. So this thing seems like it is the full deal. So why is it so terrible though? Probably because I've never ever liked to use these Motomasters because I'm pretty sure they're made by Fram. Up to 95%, up to filtration efficiency. So that's an up to. So service life up to 12,000 kilometers. Well, that's kind of crazy. Just tells you about the filtration efficiency of 95%. And that it's a cellulose and glass blend media. So let us take it out of here. And, okay, Motomaster filters, yeah. If you want a different colored filter than a Fram, is what we say here in Canada, you just buy a Motomaster, and this is what you'll get. So pretty well, this is a, well, the orange can, Fram, the extra guard. But we're going to take a look inside, and just to make sure, we're going to see how well it's made. Oh, the date code on that is right there. Hopefully we can get that. That is A313. Oh, what's that last one? 51. A31351. So that's the date code. And yes, it is a pH 3614. So I'm just going to grab my, well, actually, no, I'm going to weigh it. I was going to weigh this, right. And we're going to weigh it and see how much she weighs. So, here we go. 215 grams. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to grab a Fram filter that's also in a 3614, and we're going to see which one, see if it's the same filter by weight. Now here's the funny thing. The Fram Extra Guard here, that kind of comparing it to, has 16,000 kilometers instead of just 12,000 kilometers. I really don't understand that. Some of these things on here are trusted since 1934. But this isn't about the Fram filter. This is about the Motomaster filter. Well, let's see what this weighs. 223 grams for the Fram, and this one is 215 grams. So why, if these are literally pretty well the same filters as you can see there, why is there a difference? Like, these have pretty good threads on them and everything. But, well, I'll have to open her up and see what the actual difference is in these. It's, I don't know yet, so, well, let's check here. I'm going to check the, is there any difference here in the base plate? There's 5 grams for the Motomaster and 5 grams for the Fram. Oh, that's kind of strange. Well, okay, let's put that over there. Now, I'm going to have to open this up. It shouldn't be too hard, actually, since I, have my cutter here. Still works fine. Should cut pretty easy since this is a Fram case, I'm guessing, so they're not the thickest in the world. And hey, why is this filter lighter than a Fram? There's the question. I don't think I know the answer just yet. Yeah, they cut pretty soon. Yeah, it didn't take much, did it? I love the weak cases on these. You go to twist them off and they get all bent out of shape. But, well, I can't say it. I mean, I don't hate Motomaster filters. I actually don't mind them. So, let us see here. So far, okay, that would be the top spot. So far, that looks the same. But why is there a weight difference? I know why. It's because of all this extra weighty paint they put on the outside of this, probably. Because I don't think there's any difference on the innards of these. But let us take a look here. We'll see. And the phone. So let us see. The anti-drain back valve. One of the best things on these filters. Silicone. They do feel good. That is a nice feeling silicone. That is 7 grams. Oops, she turned off on me. Okay, let us get that. There we go. And no, 5 grams? Really? Here, let me zero that again. Okay. 6 grams. All right, what about the Fram one? 6 grams, they're identical. They are literally identical. So, probably even have the same numbers on them if there's numbers on these. There is the number 430623. And on the Motomaster one, 430623. So those are identical, which proves these came from the same plant. But the base plates on Frams are actually really nice, and they actually, that's one thing they don't mess around with. They got good base plates, and it looks like there's 3 to 4 threads on the base plates, and the same with the Fram one here. Yeah, it's identical base plate. So, yeah, 3 to 4 grams. So that's not too bad. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Pull out the good stuff. And as you can see, they got a little bit of oil on here to keep them from rusting inside. I'm not sure if the Fram one did. Let's take a look. Yeah, the Fram one did too. So, hey, that's probably not a bad thing to keep the rust out of these. Yes. Oh, one other thing I see different. Okay, there's another thing different that the Fram does that they didn't put into the Motomaster. Let me give this a weight, though. That's 10 grams and 10 grams. Yeah. The springs are identical. Good spring on it. They always do have good springs on these. I never really had a problem with these type of leaf spring type springs in the filters, but I do personally, though, like to have a real spring. Like a nice spring in there is a really good thing. So yeah, that's not too bad. We're back over here a bit, and so there we go with that. The cup, yeah, it's not thick, it's not thin, it's just your usual, feels the same as the Fram cup. So I'm not gonna do too much there. As you can see, let me take a look here. The tube and the filtration look like they're identical. So that isn't too bad. But let's give her a twirl here, and kind of all over the place on the placement of the pleats here. They're kind of just all over the place. This typical kind of like shoddy kind of looking work, but as you see on the good old Motomaster here, it's just glued together. On the Fram, there's where you get your extra weight too. It actually has a steel strip. So there you go. So far, they're almost identical, except for a few things that would put the Fram above the Motomaster. But I'm going to give the filter a cut here, and we're going to see if the filtration is as long or just as long as the Fram is. So as you do see, they both have the fiber ends, the compressed fiber ends. So I always got a lot of hate for me calling them just cardboard ends, but to me, I'm sorry. I still see these as just cardboard ends. They kind of like, come on, that's cardboard. Fiber ends, whatever. You ones who like these Fram or whatever can call them whatever you like. You can even call them fiber metal ends. I don't care. To me, they just get so uptight when I say something about their fiber ends. The tube is identical to the bent up tube I have in this one. So not very strong, as we know. They're not strong at all. But here, let us... Oh, that held actually really good. So I want to measure these against each other so we can see what they are like. So I have to move around a few things here, and then I'll measure them together. So the filtration measures out exactly the same at 44 inch for long on both and 2 inch wide on both. But let me take a look here. Let me see if there's any difference. I know I got the strip in this one. The strip is going to make a difference because it's a metal strip. First, I wasn't even going to compare these. 14 grams for the Fram and 13. So yeah, that added 1 gram probably, that strip. So they're pretty well, they're identical filtration on both. So there we go. Actually, they compared pretty good, except for a few differences in how they made the I guess the Motomaster a bit cheaper than the Fram, since the Fram, you know, is the big company here who who makes them for them. They wanted to make theirs slightly better. So is it still not the best? I would have to say, well, if you want to use a Motomaster, you're going slightly worse, I believe, than using a Fram. So that's probably not a great thing. And maybe that metal strip on the Fram also made it so you could go 16,000 kilometers, and the glued one on here only made it so you could go 12,000 kilometers. I don't know how they figure all this out. I'm sure I would not use one of these in my vehicle for more than 5,000 kilometers if I had to use one. I know I have in the past. Oh. But everything worked out and no harm was done when I used these. But hey, when you're in a pinch and all you got is either a Motomaster or a Fram, well, stick it in. It's pretty well one of the things you're going to have to use. Well, thanks for watching. I wasn't turning out that this was going to be a comparison video. I kind of thought of that during the beginning of this video, that I had a Fram that was kind of like this. And well, I hope I did it okay. Well, I'll continue to bring you more videos in the future. And hey, I already said it. Thanks for watching.